Welcome back. We had a little bit of technical difficulty, so this is part two of the Takeover London review. A little bit of a recap where we were. We were talking about the Sami Zayn video package and how we did not get a Sami Zayn return because WWE hates us and is continuing to make us wait. And then Nia Jax's interview featuring a teaser for possibly a feud with Asuka. You know, we'll have to see. This was the part of the show that kind of really confused us because we have no idea what they're doing with the women's division after tonight's show. Any thoughts on those things before we move on?
Yeah, I was really confused at the Asuka Nia Jax stare down, just because I was like, okay, so Nia Jax is obviously winning, so she can beat Asuka now. And then I was excited for it too because I thought it could be a pretty good match, especially with Asuka working with pretty much anybody, probably going to be pretty good. But I just thought it was really cool. It was a really cool stare down, kind of scare tactics used by both of them. Obviously, Asuka, she's got the strike power, and obviously the strength of Nia Jax, just being bigger than her.
Being a huge lady.
Yes. I think it works out.
All right. Next, we get a Bayley video package featuring, I guess, an essay she wrote in school on what she wanted to be when she grew up, which was kind of cool. Also, it kind of showed all of the women that have, been wanting the title the past month, which was kind of cool. Any thoughts on that video package?
Yeah, I like it because it still gives us kind of some insight into her character. We know a lot about Bayley, but this just allows us to see a little bit more into what she was thinking when she was a kid and whatnot. I just thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah. So next we get the NXT Women's Title match. Nia Jax versus Bayley, obviously. I felt like Nia didn't know what to do when her name was announced in the ring. It looked a little bit awkward, like she didn't know. Do I put my arms up? What do I do? So she kind of it just looked awkward. Maybe they meant for her to do that. I don't know, but this one just seemed awkward for me for some reason. I still like how they do the kind of blue light to make it seem like a big match, the spotlight and everything. I feel like we haven't seen Bayley kind of dominated like she was in this match in a while, especially not since she's been the champion. We really haven't seen that, so that was kind of different to see. I was really torn in this match. Also, the fan in me obviously wanted Bayley to stay champion, or Alexa Bliss. That could happen. But also I kind of wanted her to lose because I wanted to see what they'll do with her on the main roster. That's something that's kind of, I've always wondered what they would do with her on the main roster, especially with her character, with her gimmick. Great match though. Even I couldn't believe the kickouts from Bayley. I mean, girl kicked out of everything. And just wow. I was surprised Bayley won via tap out. And no sight of the redheaded bimbo. Not at all. None. I mean, I was really expecting something, some sort of heel kind of tactics. And we honestly didn't see anything like that from Nia Jax. It was pretty much a clean match, which was weird. I expected interference. I expected, some sort of cheating, and we didn't get that. And I was like, wait, what? Um, any thoughts on this match?
Um,
Um,
I
I
did.
did.
I like
I
this
like
match.
this match.
It was different. It wasn't like the kind of back and forth struggle we've seen in Bailey's matches before. It was cool that Nia Jax locked in the $1 million dream. I was like, okay, that ain't her Ted DiBiase. I see you, girl. And then Bailey would end up locking in the Dragon Sleeper, try to put her away early. Jax was just kind of pushing her around a little bit. It felt like in this match, she was dominating definitely, but she was kind of just pushing her around. Bailey would try to get it going, and Nia Jax would just kind of swat her away. Bailey entered her defeat the streak mode and locked in that triangle choke a little bit in this match. I thought that was pretty funny. It was cool to see Bailey kind of be forced to fight a different style. It kind of shows how versatile she is. She kind of just changed up. She changed up her moveset a little bit just for this match, just based on the size of her opponent, and I thought that was pretty cool. It was just I was expecting a Bailey to Belly. I don't know what it was, because and I think what it is like the predictability of WWE, and just matches like this in general. Anytime you have someone, they about how Nia Jax is kind of like twice her size and whatnot in the pre-show. Anytime you have somebody that's like twice their size, you always expect them to try to go for their big, especially if they have a lifting move. You expect them to go for their big, their big finish. And you expect it throughout the whole match to be a struggle. I'm gonna hit this baby to belly. But at first I'm not gonna be able to hit it. The second time I'm probably not gonna be able to hit it. The third time I'm not gonna be able to hit it. So when they were fighting on the top turnbuckle, I expected a Bailey to Belly there, just because I thought Nia Jax could help out a little bit too, because she could jump a little bit with it. You can jump into it a little bit. So I was expecting a Bailey to Belly. It didn't happen. I liked it though. I think the pop for a Bailey to Belly on Nia Jax would have been really huge, especially from this crowd. But I liked it nonetheless. I still like this match. I like Nia Jax for some reason, unlike some of us. But I like Nia Jax for some reason.
I mean, I didn't say I don't like Nia Jax. I'm just saying you think she's a huge lady.
She is. Have you seen her? Have you, she's twice the size of Bailey. So but I love how Bailey end up winning with the guillotine. There was just a lot of unexpected finishes tonight. I just don't know where they're gonna go now with Bailey, because there's no like clear cut number one contender anymore. Whereas if Nia Jax wins, there was still like we kind of know somewhat of a direction where they're gonna go, but we still don't know exactly. We just kind of have a little bit of insight. Because if Nia Jax would have won, we would have had obviously something with her and Asuka, because we had that face off. Maybe something with her and Eva, just because her and Eva are working together, but Eva wants the title. So I was expecting Nia to win. I was expecting Eva to get involved. She didn't. I was surprised by that too. But I don't know. I'm wondering what they're gonna do with Bailey now, because I'm wondering what else they have left to give her. What else? This was kind of the tip of the iceberg. You kind of got, or not the tip of the iceberg, but this was like the peak. I feel like technically, I guess. Okay, this is kind of like the peak though. You got to see Bailey in a match against an opponent you've never seen before, and against a different style opponent. And I feel like that's kind of as far as she needed to go. I don't really know what they're gonna do with her now. In NXT, it's kind of the same situation with Sami Zayn. I guess we just kind of have to wait. Like we feel like we want to see him on the main roster. We want to see what they're gonna do on the main roster. But I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I guess that's kind of that's the best thing about things not really going the way you expected them to go, is you don't really know what's going to happen. The show was very unpredictable to me. We don't have a clue what's going to happen at the next NXT or even the next Takeover. If you think about
Yeah. And I also felt like in a bunch of these matches, they were kind of, I don't want to say submission heavy, but there was a lot of submission work where we kind of wouldn't expect it, or from competitors that we don't usually expect to see submission work. I mean, we saw submission work from Emma, which we don't usually see her doing submission stuff. We saw it obviously from Bailey. We don't usually see. So that was kind of cool, just seeing that they can do other stuff. It's not just Bailey to bellies. It's not just Emma sandwiches, which is she needs to stop doing that move. Come on, give her something different. I mean, it was fun in the beginning. It was cool, but come on now.
I'm not gonna lie though. I got a little hype when she hit I think what it was that butterfly suplex into the corner too, because I'm just such a fan of butterfly suplexes and stuff. I don't know. I was hyped.
You heard it here first. DJ is a fan of butterflies. He loves him some butterflies. Moving on, we get to see Joe kind of warming up for his match in the back. Then we get basically the video package of the feud between Joe and Finn for the title. Any thoughts on either of these?
Once again, I had already seen these video packages before watching the pre-show, so I was more excited for the match. I was going to this match and I was like, I don't know where they're going to go with this. So I was really excited for this match. Plus, I wanted to see Finn's entrance. I was like, I know it's going to be good. So,
since DJ saw everything, in the pre-show, he saw everything. He saw the whole show in the pre-show. I'm going to give him the main event too. Give him 2 matches. I got 2 matches. He got 2 matches. We split it down the middle. So we get NXT Championship match, Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor. Take it away.
All righty. First off, Finn Balor's entrance was terrific. I love, and Justin didn't notice this. When I talked to Justin about it, he didn't notice this, but I love they had the NXT Takeover London promos where the guy he would walk up, you could hear the sounds of the shoes. He would walk up, same exact sound. And I love how they incorporated that into Finn's entrance. I just thought that was really cool. He had the top hat on. Finn came out with the top hat. And for some reason, I love it because they don't change it drastically every time. They just change it just a little bit. Just a little bit. They change something, whether it's on the paint or, tonight it was a top hat. I just thought it was really cool. Finn's entrances are always really cool, especially the demon entrances. You and I especially were more intrigued in how the title was going to get incorporated because we hadn't seen the demon entrance with the title. And I like how they kind of made it like, he was kind of like a monster, He was the demon. He kind of just like, scoop it up and keep going. I just thought that was really cool. They kind of made it like a visual illusion where he would kind of, it would kind of just appear wherever he was, which was kind of cool. I liked his entrance tonight. I thought it was really cool. Speaking of entrances, before we get into the match, I don't really like the lack of ramp or the lack of a stage. I just think it's weird. I think I've gotten so used to a stage ramp. I think it's kind of weird to see no stage and no ramp, and that's how it was tonight. It was just kind of weird. But Balor, as they got into the match, he would hit at the stairs. He tried to go for the coup de grace, trying to put Joe away on those steps, and it ends up getting missed and Finn gets slammed onto the floor, kind of that little corner slam that Samoa Joe does. Joe, throughout this match, seemed like he was just really firmly, he was grounding him, hitting him with the strikes. He was, pretty much doing all he could, and that's kind of what we expected. Joe was he was ready in the NXT title. It seemed like, and Finn got it going, and it's just fun to watch. When Finn gets it going, it's always fun to watch. On the back of Joe, and the way Joe sold it, it looked like he hit his head on the mat, which made it look really devastating. Nice transition to the rear naked choke by Joe. I've always loved Joe's transitions and the different submission holds. Finn ends up rolling out of it, which was a really good reversal, and hits a double stomp on him. Finn starts hulking up, and Joe also starts hulking up kind of simultaneously, which was a moment. Kind of, Finn hulks up. He's hyped too, So I thought that was really cool. But Joe gets hit with the drop kick from behind, which actually changed it a little bit. We usually see he hits him in the front, they explode and hit the corner. But this time he got hit from the front, but he also got hit from the back, which I thought was really cool too. And then Joe, he thinks he has him in the corner on the top turnbuckle. He tries to go for the muscle buster from the top. If he would have hit it, I probably would have died immediately. With Finn would have died. I would have died. We would just had a lot of death going on. But he didn't end up hitting it. Finn knocks him off the turnbuckle, and then hits the coup de grace to end up winning the match. I was surprised to this one too, just because Finn. I just expected Joe to win. Joe obviously has this. He's 37, I think now. He has the experience, so I honestly expected Joe to come out and just go ahead and get the win. He's been pretty dominant, it seems like, but they haven't booked Joe in the same way they booked a lot of the who debuted. Like a lot of times they put you in jobber matches that they really dominant. But I mean, Joe's been dominant, but it hasn't been to the point of some of the past guys have been. So I did expect Joe to win, though. They did everything, so I was like, he's probably going to end up winning. I don't know. I think I was expecting Finn. Finn's been in NXT for a little bit now, and he's going to go up to the main roster pretty soon. But once again, it's kind of it's the same way with everybody. I feel like I don't really want to take the title off of Bayley, because if they throw her up into the Divas Revolution, not that she's gonna get lost, but what are they gonna do? It's kind of all jumbled up, and that's kind of how it is now with the main roster just in general. There's just a lot of jumbled together, and they don't really know what they want to do right now. So I think what would really be cool, and this is kind of just something for the future for Finn, maybe even this coming up 2016. WrestleMania or something. I think it would be cool to see Finn versus Bray Wyatt. I think the way their characters kind of play off of each other, especially the demon character with Finn and Bray being Bray. I think that would be a cool little. They would have a good match, and it would be a cool dynamic off of each other, especially promo wise. I think they could work really well together, as well as in the ring. I want to see what they're going to do with Finn. I felt like Joe was going to win because I felt like they were kind of done with Finn's title run. I felt like, especially with Joe, just choking him out and dominating throughout the past couple of weeks, I was like, okay, it's over. The run is over, but I guess not. And I'm wondering when is the demon going to be defeated? Because eventually it's got to be defeated, and maybe it won't be in NXT. Maybe they'll save it for somebody, they're trying to push on the main roster later on or something. But, nonetheless, I like this match. I thought it was really good. I think, this show was good. I think we should do match of the night, or at least top three, after you get done talking about this match.
All right. I was kind of worried going into this match because just knowing how WWE books their shows, 90% of the time, I was pretty sure going into this match, I knew the outcome, since the tag team and women's title ended with the champions retaining. I was pretty sure we were going to get a new NXT champion. They usually have at least one title change on, pay-per-views or special events. So I was pretty sure Joe was going to win. But I love this match. We definitely saw a lot of intensity in this match. They definitely went all out. I was surprised that Finn retained, and I'm kind of wondering what they're going to do from here with him. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm kind of worried since just the fact that the trainers were in the ring with Finn after the end of the match, and it wasn't just, checking on him and then leaving. I mean, they were in the ring with him as they announced the winner, and they were really kind of, checking him over. So I don't know if he got hurt in the match or what's going on. Hopefully not, because, I mean, we're just getting Sami Zayn back. We don't need Finn Balor going out with an injury. That's
Yeah, and not to mention that like everyone, pretty much every main event star on the main roster. So like it's been a rough time for, I think, just sports, but especially WWE. Like they've been struggling too, just keeping their stars healthy.
I mean, that's why I don't think, that's why I'm kind of confused as to why they're having Sami Zayn come back to NXT. I mean, they need more talent up on the main roster, especially guys who can be those top guys. Sami Zayn, Finn Balor obviously could, potentially be those top guys, like Seth Rollins was. And with all the guys out with injuries right now, you have Seth Rollins out for, at least 9 months, I think. Probably maybe even more. You have, Randy Orton out with an injury. We have so many guys right now out. They need guys up there. But then again, you have to think, if you take these guys and you put them up at the main roster, you obviously have to replenish NXT. So who are they going to bring up into NXT from, who's going to get the opportunity? And watching Breaking Ground, I know there's a bunch of guys that we obviously want to, get a shot.
There's some tough enough contestants that actually got signed, like from this previous season. I know Patrick Clark. That's according to Wikipedia, so I'm not saying it's like reliable or anything. Patrick Clark and Mata, both of those guys got signed. They just haven't debuted yet. It seems like.
Yeah, and I know there's a bunch of other indie guys who have been signed. I know guys like Biff Busick have been signed. So, I'm waiting for guys like that to come up. More of like I said, the indie guys who, not really sure, how I feel about them still being in WWE now. I'm still not sure how I feel about James Storm and Samoa Joe being in WWE, but anyway, that was our review of NXT Takeover London. Seems like it took so long for this show to come. It seems like we were waiting for it so long, and now that it's over, it's like, what now? So I'm excited for the next, special event that they have, where that's going to be, what it's going to be called, just a lot of, unknowns, I feel like, coming up in the next couple months with WWE in general, but any thoughts before we close the video? Oh, you know what? Let's just do top 4. I'm going to pick every match in this card as my top 4.
Well, we did have 5 matches, so we could do a top 5.
Did we have top? No, we had 4 matches.
Yeah, we had 5.
We did? I don't know. Okay, top 5.
3 title matches and then 2 matches that weren't title matches.
Oh, yeah, we did. I don't know. So what are we doing? Top 4 or top 5? What?
Let's go top 5.
All right.
What's your number 5?
Oh man, number 5. Uh, it's so hard to pick the worst match on an awesome card. Um, let's see. I'm gonna. I'll go Asuka and Emma.
My number 5 is going to be the tag title match. It's not that, but I the other matches that I liked a little more.
Yeah. I'd say number 4 for me would be probably Corbin and Apollo. It was definitely a good match, but I felt like it could have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me, Nia Jax and Bayley. I really, really, really like the match, and I really, really like the finish. I just feel like they just need some more time to work together to truly put on one of those great matches that we can see out of them.
Yeah. I'm gonna go 3. Probably the NXT tag title match, because the wrong champions are champion. Um, but it was a really good match though, so it's definitely top 3.
All right. My number 3 is going to be the NXT title match. I liked it a lot. Um, I just feel like my top 2. I just liked them a little better. They surprised me a little more, and love the entrance though. Was a big fan of that entrance.
Yeah. Number 2 for me was the NXT Women's Title match. It was really good. A definitely different take on a Bayley match. Obviously, like we said, a lot more, slow paced, more submission work, which was cool to see, a different side of her, to see that she could do different stuff. And we had a huge lady in the match too, which is cool. We don't discriminate on size.
My number 2 is Baron Corbin versus Apollo. I really, really like this match. Corbin saying you should have stayed in Ring of Honor, you should have stayed in those little gyms you were in. I think that's just truly one of those things where he's really growing in his character. He might not be cutting it in promos, but it all starts with what you say in the matches too. So, I think he's growing a lot. I don't know how WWE feels about him saying Ring of Honor, but I definitely like this match. I thought it was really good, aggressive match.
Yeah. My number 1 is going to be obviously the NXT Championship match. I thought it was really good. From Finn's entrance, just to the fact that it was Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor. That in itself is just going to be an awesome match, whether the title's on the line or not. And they definitely went all out. Again, hopefully Finn doesn't have any serious injuries or anything like that. We saw some blood coming from Samoa Joe's mouth, so hopefully he just busted his lip or something. Hopefully it's not anything internal. That's something you always worry about when you see blood coming from somebody's mouth. It could be internal. Hopefully it's not, and hopefully they're both okay. But it was definitely a really good match. And I think they always put on 5-star matches,
I agree. It's funny that your number 5 is my number 1. My number 1 is Asuka versus Emma. The reason I thought this match was, how do you say, match of the night? Because they worked together. I don't know if that's just the fluidity of Asuka or if that's just how well, right? For two females who I don't know, like I don't know that they've worked together in the past. It was just really good, and I saw a lot of bright spots from Emma that I knew she kind of had in her, but she hasn't really been able to show yet. You know, I just really like Asuka, you know, and Emma. I want to see. I hope Dana gets another match with Asuka too. I think put on a really good match. I just thought that match was just really good. Just a really good match to start the show.
I feel like that would have been, you know, my number 1 or number 2, but there was just one problem with it that kept it from being number 1 or number 2 or number 3 or number 4. And I mean, you know, I don't want to get into it because, you know, that's for a different video, but there was just one little, just a nagging thing that was, you know, I kept seeing in this match, and it was on the outside of the ring. You know, it was
barely even show.
The fact that she was there and in her gimmick, it just. Anyway, that was, like I said, that was our Takeover London review and our top 5 matches in order, of, you know, what we liked most to what we like least, or what we like least to what we like most, actually. But yeah, I'm just excited for next week. Finally, freaking Sami Zayn comes back, unless, you know, they say next week again, which I'm not even going to be surprised if they say next week again. I'm just gonna, it's whatever at this point. With the
Boom.
next month, Sami Zayn returns. Then we're gonna see him back in Ring of Honor again, and it's like, what? But yeah, we're excited. We have one more video coming up tonight. Kind of a different one, but you'll see when it comes out, because it's gonna come out soon. But we will see you very soon on the Flippity Dippity, which is very soon. You know, sometimes the Flippity Dippity, you have to wait a while. This one, you don't have to wait too long for this Flippity Dippity. Bye.